I've been thinking about becoming lately. Not achievement, not success, not the version of becoming we're usually sold. The kind that says, work harder, accomplish more, become someone important. I've been wondering if becoming is something entirely different. Because when I look back at the most transformative moments of my life, very few of them felt like achievement. Most felt like recognition, as if something that was always there finally became visible. I've noticed this pattern in many of the stories we love. The hero rarely discovers a new self. The hero discovers a forgotten one, a truer one. The courage was always there. The strength was always there. The wisdom was always there. The journey simply revealed it. And perhaps that's why becoming often feels so strange. It doesn't always feel like gaining. Sometimes it feels like remembering. Sometimes it feels like returning. Returning to a version of yourself that existed before fear convinced you otherwise. Before disappointment convinced you otherwise. Before the world began explaining who you were supposed to be. And that brings me to a story most of us heard as children. The Ugly Duckling. For years, I thought it was a story about transformation. An ugly duckling becomes a beautiful swan. But the older I get, the more I wonder if that's not the story at all. Because the duckling never became a swan. The swan was always a swan. The rejection was real. The loneliness was real. The suffering was real. But none of those things changed what the swan actually was. The story ends the moment the swan finally recognizes itself. And I wonder how often becoming works the same way. Not as transformation, but as recognition. Not becoming someone new, but finally seeing who you have been all along. Perhaps that is why some moments in life feel so profound. Not because something changed, but because something became visible. A truth that was quietly waiting beneath the surface. The older I get, the more I suspect that self-actualization is not the creation of a new self. It is the recognition of an existing one. Perhaps becoming is not the creation of someone new. Perhaps it is the recognition of someone who was there all along. The ugly duckling never became a swan. The swan simply learned to see itself. Maybe we are all doing the same. This is Marcelino, and these are my reflections on becoming. The 13th Law, Audacity. Move anyway.